So today we'll be looking at how to draft an off-shoulder smoky top, smoky crop top. This is a 1.5 yard of fabric. I've already cut out using the length I'll be needing, but it's exactly 1.5 yard. Then I'll fold again. So now my fabric is into four, as you can see. I just folded into 2/4, then I fold again, making it into 4 pieces. So I'll be adding 8 inches extra to all my body measurements because it's a smoky dress. I'll be needing extra inches to it so it can fit in perfectly. So what I'll do now is to take my crop top measurement. The crop top length I'll be using is 18 inches. I'll add 2 inches extra for seam allowance. So I'll just, since it's an off shoulder smoky top, I'll be minusing 4 inches from to take all my body measurements. So I'll just minus 4 inches. If you want yours to be a little bit lower, you can go ahead and minus 5 inches. I feel my 4 inches is okay. So before then, I'll mark out half inches for my starting line. Let's mark half inches for the starting line. Then I said earlier on, we'll be adding 8 inches to all our measurements and 2 inches extra for seam allowance. So I'll just fold in the 2 inches extra I'll be using for my seam allowance. So before then, I'll just cut these excesses I'll not be needing. Okay, so I'll just mark 2 inches at this point and fold it in so that it won't get you confused before taking any measurements. 2 inches. You can add more allowance to it depending on how you want your smoky dress to be. If you want it very tight, then you can go ahead and add 1 inch. If you want it a little bit free, then you can use 2 inches or 3 inches depending on how you want it. So I just folded in the 2 inches extra for my allowance. So from that point, I'll be inserting all my body measurements. So on this starting point, I'll put my shoulder measurement. The shoulder I'm working with is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So mark out 7.5 here. Why I'll still minus my 4 inches to get my armhole measurement, which I said earlier on is 8 inches. So minus 4, you get 8. So I'll use my armhole curve to curve that out. Okay, I'll still minus 4 to get my breast point line, which is 10 inches. On that 10 inches, I'll take my bust measurement. So my bust measurement is 34. 34 plus 8 will give me 42. 42 divided by 4 will give us 10 points. While on my waistline, I'll take my waist measurement. The waist measurement I'm working it with is 28. 28 plus 8 inches is 36. 36 divided by 4 give me 9 inches. So I'll mark out my 9 inches here. And also I'll just take what I have here on my waistline and insert it on the blouse length, 9 inches. So I'll connect my lines together. So I'll just cut this out. So before cutting it out, I'll come in here on my shoulder line by 1.5. This is constant for an off shoulder. So I'll just come in by 1.5 on my shoulder line where I took my shoulder measurement. Since it's an off shoulder, you come in by 1.5 and you connect to the armhole. So you just connect with your straight ruler. So this is what I'll be having. So just go ahead and cut it out. and also cut this part out. Okay. So this is what I'm having. Okay, for my round sleeve, I will still minus 4 inches. It's on fold, on a single fold. I want to cut one first before cutting the other. So remember, I'll minus 4 inches for our top. So for the sleeve, I'll also minus 4 inches to get the sleeve length I want. So what I want is 9 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, making it 10 inches. So I'll be cutting out 10 inches. So I just mark 10 inches here. Okay. I'll be adding, remember we fold in 2 inches for our top, so I'll do same thing here. Because it's smoky, I don't want it to be too tight. So I'll mark out the 2 inches I folded for the top and fold it in for my sleeve as well. So I just folded in with 2 inches. I'm folding in 2 inches because I would need extra allowance for this top. If you don't add extra allowance, it will end up becoming too tight and you won't be able to wear it. So I just folded in the 2 inches. So from that in 2 inches, now take my round sleeve measurement. My round sleeve measurement is 10. That at this point where the sleeve is going to stop is 10 inches. 10 divided by 2 will give me 5 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance. So what I'll be marking here is 6 inches. So what I'm having here is 6 inches. So to get the total round shoulder measurement, that's the all around here shoulder measurement. So the one I'm working with is 39. I'll bring my upper body, my crop top, and measure this point. So what I'm having here is 6.5. Remember we minus 1.5 inches from our shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 15, which is 7.5 minus 1.5 inches made it 6.5. So what I got was 6 inches. So each sleeve will be using 6 inches. So this is my sleeve. I just cut it out. So I'll be placing it over like this. You can see the same thing with the top. So just place it over like this. So I'll go ahead and cut the other part of the sleeve. So because of the style we're working with, I'll fold in 2 inches. Then insert the sleeve measurement. Front sleeve, which is 10 inches divided by 2 because the fabric is on fold, 5 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance. I'll come down here by 4 inches. Then I'll mark 3 inches. I'm marking 3 inches because the fabric is on fold. 6 divided by 2 is 3 plus half inch seam allowance. So I'll just connect the lines together. Okay, before smocking my dress, I'll fold up the upper and lower parts. Just fold it small into the so you can see I just folded the lower part and also folded the upper part. So you reel your elastic thread with your hand like this, gently. You don't pull it too much, you just reel it evenly like this. Just carefully, you don't have to rush it. Just make sure it's firm. Just make sure you don't fool it. Just really tight, it's easy for you to sew. So I'm just bending over the both edge here and the lower part too. folded the both end. So right now I'll be changing my thread underneath. So I'll just bring out my shuttle and remove my normal thread, sewing thread. So I've reeled an elastic thread. This is the elastic thread and this is the elastic thread I'm using for this smoky top. So I just reeled it on the reeler and I'll fix it. Before fixing it, you make sure you open up your shuttle. You see this point? You use your screw to open it up so that your elastic can pass through. As it is like this, it cannot pass through unless I open it up a little. So I just loosen it up now with my screw. So I'll just fix it up. You can see it's very easy to pass through. You can see how easy it is, but if you don't loosen it up at all, you won't be able to pass through. Just fix it and use my machine to bring it out. I'll be sewing using 1/2 inch. You can, if you like, you can use your chalk to mark 1/2 inch as a guide, but me, I know 1/2 inch with my eyes. So I'll also make sure I put my machine on gather, like bringing it up to the last point. Then I will sew. Notice I didn't stitch at this point, at the beginning point. I don't see the need to. We'll just continue like that, using 1/2 inch. You can see how it's gathering gradually. As you can see, we are making progress. It's not as easy. Okay, I just finished smoking the front and the back part of my crop top. So what I'll be doing now is to join the both together. So I'll just place it right facing each other. I'll start shaping from the bust area, leaving out the space I left for my armhole, leaving out the sleeve area. So I'll just start shaping from this side. I'll shape it using 1/2 inch. When shaping your top, you change your thread from the smoky thread to a normal thread. It's very important. Okay, I just shaping it. Look how stretchy it is. Right now we'll go over to the sleeve. Okay, this is my sleeve. Before smoking the sleeve, I'll fold both the upper and the lower part of my sleeve before I start smoking. I'll just smoke it straight, just like I did on the top. I'll just go over. Okay, I just finished smoking my sleeve. So what I'll be doing now, I will just fold the both edge together using 1/2 inch. Then I'll stop at where I'll attach it to my sleeve, which is this area. So where I'm sewing is just the lower part. From this side to this side, I'll join it using 1/2 inch. So I'll just do same thing on this other sleeve and attach it to my top. Okay, this is the end of my video. As you can see my smoky top. So where I'm sewing is just the lower part. Back. From this side to this side, I'll join it using 1/2 inch. Don't forget to weave your top after sewing. It's very important, so it's looking very neat. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you like, share and subscribe.